G'day guys, welcome back. My name is Wildkard. So yes, it's news day today. We're not supposed to be yelling and raging, but probably gonna go a bit of a rant here. So just be warned. You know, never in my life have I ever felt so disgusted watching the game of rugby. You know, I've seen a lot of absolute awful referee decisions. You know, there's conspiracies out there that says the referees have it out against certain nations, but there's never really concrete evidence. You know, we joke around about how referees are bribed. You know, the Wallabies bribe the referee to beat the South Africans, right? We joke about this sort of stuff, but we never really have evidence. We're making these statements. It's just for jokes, you know, for laughs, for a bit of banter. But for the first time in my life, there is concrete evidence that there's cheating going on in rugby. There's undoubtedly, unrefutably cheating going on in the game of rugby. And England has shown us that they are definitely cheating. Owen Farrell had his red card rescinded from the weekend. I actually cannot believe when I saw this. I literally almost broke my TV when I saw this. Okay, not my TV, my computer screen. Like, it's just blatant cheating. There's no other way around it. There's some kind of bribery going on in the back door. This high Owen Farrell's shoulder charge went to the sighting committee chaired by two Australians. I mean, go back to England. Send these people back to fucking England. Honestly, David Croft and John Langford, as well as this Adam Casselden. So I just googled these guys, right? David Croft. I don't know if this is actually the David Croft that's in charge, but David Croft used to be a good player for the Wallabies. And this guy, John Langford, also used to play for the Wallabies, apparently. And yeah, so I don't know if they're actually the people that's in charge, or that's just the name that's given. That they just have they happen to have the same name. And this guy, Adam Castelden, they have deemed that the tackle. So let's just quickly have a look at this. This high shot. Let's quickly have a look, just a few seconds, right? This high shot. There's a mitigating factor in this that the ball carrier has changed directions prior to going into the tackle significantly, that this should not have been considered a red card in the first place. Oh my god. Okay, in the same week, it's unbelievable, these people. Send them back to England. Send these two back to England, right? We don't want you here in Australia. You're a disgrace to Australian rugby. Go back, go to England. You always want to be English. Go back to where you came from. Okay? It's fucking disgrace. Look, this guy, Peter. I actually don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I don't want to butcher it again. So this guy has been suspended last week to a high shot that we talked about on this channel, where the center stepped into him and huge change, clear change in directions. Nah, he's gonna get a ban. But that's fine. Let's have a look at another one. There's another one. This happened a few weeks ago. Michael Leach from Japan. A few weeks ago against Samoa. 3-match ban, reduced to 2. And let's have a look at the incident. Okay. There's another tackler involved, right? Hang on, that's not the right one here. There's another tackler involved. Lynch goes in. Very identical hit, right? Everybody agrees that's a red card. Absolutely no doubt. Owen Farrell, almost identical shot. No, not even the referees on the field. The TMO bunker was wrong. Okay, according to these three fuckwits, the TMO bunker was wrong. Okay, Owen Farrell did not was not enough to be a red card in the first place. Okay? Actually, I have never been so fucking disgusted watching the game of rugby. Okay? I don't know what can we even do, right? We're just nobodies. It's you know, and I also had to Google this as well, right? This is actually a form of racism. Did you know this? If people from a certain country, right, i.e. Japan, gets suspended for the same thing that Owen Farrell can do playing for England, it's actually a form of racism. Did you know this? It's a discrimination from your nation, nation of origin, right? It's actually a form of racism. I actually can't believe this bullshit. It's so bad. I don't know. It's unbelievable. It's actually so fucking bad. I don't even want to watch the Rugby World Cup anymore. It's so disgusting. It's actually a form of racism. I actually don't. Anyway, let's move on. Oh my god. So the Rugby World Rankings has been unchanged for the top 8. Wales has dropped another spot to below Fiji at 9th. And Fiji ever encroaching closer to beating Australia at the Rugby World Cup. So yeah, obviously Wales lost to England on the weekend. Very disappointing. So let's go through some of the results from the weekend. First up, it was what happened here? First of all, it was did I get the right dates? Sorry guys. Did I get the right dates? 12, 13. Was it 11? Okay, so I thought there was one or two more matches before that. But anyway, so those are the matches that... no, I think there was a couple of... No, showing. I think there's one with America. But anyway, some of the big matches on the weekend. Obviously, England versus France. England versus Wales. France versus Scotland. There's a few ones. Pretty sure America played a game against... which one was it? Against Portugal. Yeah, I think America lost to Portugal. I watched that, actually. Portugal was... kind of fell apart. The Americans kind of fell apart in the second half. And so, yeah, that one's not on there. So, Chile versus Namibia. Lost a close one to Namibia. England versus Wales. The worst game I've ever seen my whole life. 3 yellow cards, 1 red card against England. 2 yellow cards against Wales. And somehow, Wales playing against 12 players still lost. Actually, the worst game I've ever seen. Georgia absolutely demolished Romania. I watched this one. The Romanians actually was like just hanging in there in the first half, and then the Georgians just blew them up in the second half. Essentially, the Georgians actually played pretty good structure, but I think the scoreline is more the fact that the Romania was really, really bad in the second half, like elementary level errors, not making their tackles, not committed to the breakdown sort of thing. And that's probably the result of it. But the Georgia's structure actually looked really good. So, definitely could potentially see an upset at the Rugby World Cup pool stage against Wales, Australia. Who knows? But they're in the same pool. They're going to be playing the Wallabies in the first match in the Rugby World Cup. And yeah, it was really, really, one of those matches where, if Romania, yeah, it was very one-sided. Finally, the best game of the weekend, France versus Scotland. Scotland was well down and out for the match, and then slowly but surely clawed themselves back. Finn Russell finding space out of nowhere, and then eventually, yeah, the Scottish team was able to level the game at 27-27 before the French was able to win the match with a penalty at the end, 30 points to 27. And yeah, very, very good game. It was huge, and after beating the French B team a week before, coming out to go against the French A team is essentially, and with only 3 points in it away in France, this is very, very good looking for the Scottish team going into the Rugby World Cup. Obviously, you are here, clicked on this video, probably most interested in this, the Springboks team announcement against Wales this weekend. They have recorded a lot of players from injury, and also some players that has been has been recovering. The biggest return is obviously the captain, Siya Kolisi. He had an ACL injury, and he had basically a surgery on his knee, and like not that long ago, like 4 months ago. This is supposed to be like a 6 month to 9 months injury, and then he's just basically came back like the Superman that he is, and he's ready to captain the Springboks again at number 6 jersey. So we will see how he performs against Wales this weekend. Hopefully they're just gonna give him like 40 minutes and then take him off, so he doesn't like immediately get injured again. Depends how tender things are, but I trust the doctors knows what they're doing. Put him on the field this weekend. So yeah, let's have a look at the Springboks lineup. At number 15, Vili Leroux comes in the fullback position. Really strong lineup. This Springboks team. Kanan Moody comes in number 14. Jesse Creel outside center number 13. Obviously with Lukamio arm injured, Jesse Creel is the number 1 selection basically for the outside center position. Number 12, Damien Dialendi comes in at number 12. I actually, despite being the premier player, has going for the Springboks since the 2019 Rugby World Cup. At the moment, I do think that Esterhuizen probably deserved the number 12 over Dialendi, the 12 jersey. So this is an opportunity for Dialendi to prove him for that jersey. Cheslin Kobe comes in number 11 for the Springboks. Mani Labok gets another opportunity at 10. More time is better. It's good for him. He really needs that extra time, especially with the goal kicking. Since the fact that they have Cheslin Kobe on the field, I do think that they're probably going to go to Kobe if the kicking gets too awful. In fact, no, they won't. They won't go to Kobe because this is just the trial match. They're going to just keep at it with Manny Labok doing the goal kicking, give him as much time as possible. So yeah, expect to take a lot of penalties this weekend for the Springboks team. Jasper Visa comes in. Jaden Hendrickson finally returns for the Springboks. He's been out for quite a while due to personal issues, and finally he's fit to play. And it's really good to see that he's ready. He was one of the most promising young players coming through for the Springboks. Jasper Visa comes in number 8. Number 7, Peter Dutoit. Number 6, Siya Kolisi, the captain. Number 5, RJ Snyman, finally getting a start for the Springboks in the locking position. John Klein gets another shot for the Springboks at number 4 with his 3rd test caps. Number 3, Franz Moherbe, the tight head prop. Number 2, Malcolm Marks. This is just extremely strong front rowers. And Stephen Kitsoff, basically the bomb squad starting up in the starting positions. Springboks, really, this is actually a really strong team. I would not be surprised if the Springboks just take it, just blow the Welsh out of the water. But I wouldn't be surprised if they take a lot of penalties as well. So we'll see how this one goes. On the bench, we've got Bungi Mbanabi, number 17, Ox Uncha, number 18, Vincent Koch. Again, just brutal finishing front rowers ready to come off the bench. Franco Mostert getting another shot at number 19 jersey. Marco van Staden comes off as a finisher at number 20, and then the typical Springbok bomb squad squad with an extra forward on the bench. Dwayne the Rock Vermeulen will become off the bench at number 21. Number 22, Grant Williams will be the reserve number 9, and then Damien Willemse, the greatest Springbok in history of the Springbok, will be covering the remainder backline by himself from 10 to 15 by himself. And he will be coming off, at the number 23 jersey, the famous number 23 jersey for Damien Willemse. And obviously, the Springboks have made a lot of changes for their team. And the biggest couple players that people have been talking about is Handré Pollard and Lukamio Arm. So with Lukamio Arm, currently, he's only been injured for like 3 weeks. He's got a calf injury, I think it was. Calf injury. So Lukamio Arm is currently not looking likely to play against if the first game is in the pool stage in the first Rugby World Cup. It's against Scotland. At this stage, the coach has confirmed that it's not likely that it's going to be ready to go by then. So it's not likely that he's going to be at the Rugby World Cup for that reason. He might be courting later in the pool stages if people gets injured and he's healthy. But at this stage, he will not be featured at Rugby World Cup 23. The other one is Handré Pollard. He is, according to the coaches, that there is some conspiracy going on that they're gonna sneak him into the camp, during the Rugby World Cup. That's always been the plan. The conspiracy is that the reason they have 4 halfback is the fact they're going to drop one and then have 100 Polo added into the team. But according to the coach, Jackson Ntamack, Polo is only operating at 20% at the moment, which means that he is fit. Not fit. He's healthy, but he's not fit. So the big issue for them is that they have currently set the plans that he will not be included in the squad. So the plan is, as Ntamack says, if no one's injured, the 23 people that's selected will be coming back as a whole. No one's gonna get sent home to make a spot for 100 Pollard. That's the confirmation from Ntamack himself that Pollard will not be playing. But then again, it's still not really impossible for him to get there. Same with Lukamu. Later in the pool stage, people get injured. He might still be called up, but it's definitely not that ideal situation to have injuries occur and having to call him up. And also some interesting thing that has been revealed by the coaching staff. Apparently 40% of their pay is based on win bonuses. I do remember that Rasmus has talked about that when it comes to talked about that in the past. That is part of his big wing bonus, and him being banned essentially from the Springboks for a year means that he was out of the win bonus basically, because he wasn't able to coach the Springboks, so not able to be there. So he did talk about that being a huge financial loss for him to be banned from coaching the Springboks. But yeah, they have talked about the coaches have talked about that. Whenever they decide to put on, the B team and loses a game, they actually costing themselves money as well. So it's something that they are, they are, taking the bullet for everyone essentially. Next up, we've got some bad injuries coming out of France. So 2 huge key players on the French team has been injured against Scotland. One is obviously the biggest name in, world rugby today in terms of the fly half position, Romain Ntamack. Some of you guys probably don't watch French rugby. I don't watch it either, but I did watch the final of the French rugby, Toulouse versus La Rochelle. And Ntamack, playing for Toulouse, was on the verge of losing the game. And Ntamack single-handedly won the game out of the clutch of La Rochelle. Just through sheer talent, he ran like 70 meters with footwork, winning the game by himself, and like absolute superhero level of performance from him to win the top 14 championship for Toulon. Unbelievable player. So having him out of the team is massive loss for the French. And obviously the second big name that's lost, and he's gone due to an ACL injury. So this is actually the same injury as Sia Khaleesi, but he's even if he returns in 4 months, he's not gonna be able to play. So the other one that's potentially out is Cyril Baille, the loose prop from the French. He's got a very, very technical injury. Detachment of the internal gastrocnemius right calf. So there's a calf injury for him. Detachment, which means obviously a torn calf, I'm guessing. And that's really bad news as well in the loose position for the French. So that's 2 massive losses for the French team. And luckily they do have the depth to still potentially win the Rugby World Cup. But with that being said, the mighty All Blacks is the favorites to win the World Cup as of today. Yeah, so Fozzie, just keep everyone in the bubble wraps. So yeah, the All Blacks actually done the smart thing with these trial matches. They have actually called up players who's not in the rugby squad to play some of these trial matches going into the Rugby World Cup, to fill in some of the spots actually. So yeah, England, obviously Jack Van Porvier rolled his ankle during the match, and he's likely going to be replaced. And so the Van Porvier ankle issue probably not going to be, not sure how bad that's going to be, but that's going to be a loss for England. So yeah, Eddie Jones, once again, just being Eddie Jones. This is like typical gambler, I think, if you ask me. So Eddie Jones obviously has brought a very young team to the France, and a lot of people are talking about that he's building for the future, and Eddie Jones has pounced on that and essentially came out and said last week that he's prepping this current squad to win the next two Rugby World Cups. That's, double or nothing, right? If you can't win one, let's win two, right? Just give him another 50 years, he'll surely win a couple, right? Yeah, just typical gambling mentality. And anyway, so Japan have announced their team. This is only a 30-man team for the Rugby World Cup, so with 3 people to be added to the team later on. So this is a preliminary selection for the Japanese squad. So 3 additional players to be selected, says here. So we're just going to go through them. Jack Cornelson, Shota Fiku, Jingwo Gu is actually a Korean guy, I'm pretty sure. Ben Gunter, Sione Halasili, Kazuki Himeno. Himeno-san is the captain. He played for, obviously, I think he played for Highlanders a couple seasons ago in the Super Rugby, and he was the Rookie of the Year. Himeno-san is very good. I love Himeno-san, and good to see that he's the captain. Himeno-san is the captain. Shota Hore, Koshuko Horikoshi, Keita Inagaki. I actually used to learn Japanese, so I should be able to pronounce this. Shinosuke Kakinaga, Michael Leach, who will be back from suspension, Craig Miller, James Moore, Atsushi Sakate, Asai Ivalu, I think he's a Tongan guy. In the backline, we got Siosai Saya Fafita, Kenta Fukuda, Sengu Sin Lee. I think that's not a Korean, isn't it? Lomano Lava Lemeki, Semise Mesidreva, Rikia Matsuda, Kotaro Matsushima, Yukata Nagare, John Naikabula, Rito Nakamura, Shogo Nakano, Junpei Ogura, Tomoki Osada, Dylan Riley from the Southpaw School in Australia, professional export, by the way. He was, I think it was South African heritage, imported by the Southpaw School here in Australia at the Gold Coast, and then exported to Japan. So professional export, professional import, actually, rugby import. That's It's been a rugby import since high school. Okay, Naoto Saito finishing out the 30-man squad for the Japan. Obviously, last week the Tongan squad was announced, and I did miss it. So we're gonna have a quick look at that. See if we can resume this in a bit. Oh, I can't actually zoom this. Anyway, so here's the Tongan squad. Just watch me butcher all the names. Apologize in advance. Nigel Awan, Michael Alatoa plays. He's actually Alan Alatoa's brother, and he plays in Ireland for Leinster. And Brian Alanuuesi, Paul Alo Emily. I don't know if I should keep going with this. Yeah, let's keep going. I'm gonna have to learn this name sooner or later. Iretara Sotiaka Inari So Otala Fa'a So'o, Miracle Failangi, Charles Faumuina, Ed Fida, Charles Faumuina, it's an ex-All Black, I believe. Niria Formai, Ben Lam, Sei Lala Lam, Jordan Lay, Christian Lealiafano, former Wallabies, Fritz Lee, Alai Del Angelo Leula, Stephen Luatua, Sama Malolo, Tomua Manu, Melani Matavao, Theodore McFarlane, Alamanda Motuga, Duncan Paia Aua, Taleni Seu, Ulu Pano Jr. Sevuteni, Samuel Slade, Lima Sopuanga, again, another former All Black, Sir Jordan Fua, Jonathan Tau Manteni, Danny Toala, Loteru Tolai, Chris Vui, and there will be one additional player to be added to the squad for the Samoans. So yes, that's the news this week, guys. I don't know what we're gonna do with the Farrell thing. It's very, very disgraceful, and it's blatant cheating. Let me know your thoughts, and thanks for watching this video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys this weekend for more reviews with the Springboks match coming up, and looking forward to that. So have a good week, guys. I'll see you guys later this week. Cheers.